going to show you guys how I use the VIX to be able to catch these quick pop plays, especially when SPY's on the move down, or just how I use it in general just to indicate reversals and such. So yeah, let's go over the plays real quick that we took today. The first play we took was a 660 calls. This was at 9:53. I got in 10 contracts, and this paid a quick 28% or 30% right there. So yeah, this was a real quick bag. Some people took their bags with me, but I only scaled half, and then I left the left running. And I basically closed for red because it just that candle just wiped me out. But it's all right. Some people took their bags, some people held. Like I tell you guys, make sure you're always just taking profits, 20, 30%. You have to understand that if you're getting that much a percentage of return in such a short time frame, especially that quick, like for me, I've learned to respect it because it's a number I always see. It's not all the time we're gonna see 80, 100%, 200%. So, I look at numbers that I always see, and the majority of times I enter play, and most of the times, like 90% of the time, I always see a 20%, a 30%, 15%. Like, so that's the area where I'm already looking to grab my bread. All right. So why did I take this play? Well, the initial plan was, to look for puts to the downside. Now, what I really wanted to look for was a short to pop. I wanted SPY to open up and run up all the way to 659 to then look for a short opportunity. But we didn't get that. We opened right under our key level, which was 655.69, and we retested it. And I was a little bit impatient. I didn't wait for the retest because this would have been actually the the banger play, especially in the morning. This would have paid over like 150, 200% right there. This is such a great entry right there. If you have my levels and you played that, I know a couple people in my Discord that played it and they made a nice bag off of it. But if we didn't get that entry that we wanted, I was telling everybody that I always get these nice pops. You can always get good pops around pre-market low, pre-market high. A nice short or whatever it might be. But yeah, pre-market low, morning flushes, and a pop at pre-market low. You can always see a good quick bag there if you ever want it, and that's exactly what we saw. Quick 30% right there on these 660 calls. The second play we took was the 657 calls. All right, 657 calls. This was at 10:14, and I went in heavier. I went in 12 contracts. This was actually the a better, a more massive bag right here. This went over 65%. This almost went 70% right there, fellas. We took this right here. Well, let me show you guys real quick on the 660 the calls right here. Now, how I took this. If you look at the VIX, look what time we took it. All right. So this is at 9:50. If we look at the VIX, watch this right here. Where are we at? 9:50. Okay. Yeah, right here. All right. So you guys see this, right? This key level right here, 26.30. We had a rejection here. All right. This is why I take these plays with a little bit more conviction because when two things are lined up, I'm ready to grab a nice little bag. Now it didn't pull through all the way back down to the key zone on VIX, but like I said, the quick pops at pre-market low. Now the second play we took, right? I was still bullish because I didn't want to chase it, and I wasn't going to be doing that. I either look for reversals or another pullback for an entry. But in order for me to really actually follow the trend, I need to see an aggressive pullback for a nice entry. Other than that, like for me, I just feel like I'm chasing. I don't care if it keeps going, even if we got in. But for me, those are not. Um, I don't get in those plays with high confidence, and I end up just taking a bad entry. And most of the times I've done it, I close for red. So yeah, we grab calls again. 657 calls at 10:14, and wait, no, this was at 10:12, but I posted it because we were just holding that range. Because I was down about, I don't know, I think it was down about like 10, 15%. So I wanted it to keep going. I wanted it to be like a right around break even, so I could give you guys the precise entry. Even though if you guys could have gotten in cheaper, that would have been better. But yeah, I posted it at 10, 12, 10, 14. If you guys look at SPY real quick, if you match the times, right around here at 10, 10:05, 10:10. Yeah, so right around here. This was the candle that I entered this play right here. Now, this was more of a risky play, but I was just looking at it off of volume and price action. I was just seeing that this was gonna end up either reclaiming or just confirm the downside. But I just saw some strength there, and mainly because I was looking at VIX. If you guys look at VIX at 10 right here, you see another key level 27.24. All right, another projection there, and I told everybody in the Discord I drew a line, an arrow pointing down here. This could be a play right here on VIX. Looking at VIX and SPY. All right, so that was a nice indication there for us to take the upside. Then this play went over 65%. Yeah, 70% right there, fellas. So it paid. It paid nicely. I should have just stepped away for the day. I don't know why I didn't. I was up around $200, and yeah, I could have just called it and just allowed the small port, keep compounding and just show up the next day. But no, I didn't. I was greedy, and I thought I could hit another one. 658 calls at 10:55. All right, now let's look at the VIX real quick. Why did we take this play? All right, so you guys look real quick. There's this formation, fellas. I'm gonna show you guys real quick where it almost looks like it's gonna continue leaking, or almost like a just a reversal because of the consolidation and obviously the wicks to the upside. But there's been times, guys, where there's yeah, you could call it a bull flag, but sometimes price continues to dip down, like more aggressively than a normal bull flag. You would most people would consider would, and ends up ripping up, right? So I was expecting some form of a news leak because of the price action. When it starts consolidating and during these conditions, there's some form of accumulation going on, and then just a little random like volatility spike, and then that's when the motion happens. All right, and just because where we were above 653, which is a key pivot of ours, I was gonna be the on the call side here, right? Even though obviously, like, yeah, it did look pretty bearish. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna, I had a boy that faded me. He said he's in puts, and I told him I was in calls. He got paid. I didn't. So, um, that's the game. So yeah, I messed up on this. This was at around, when did I take this? I took this around 10:50. Now let's look at the VIX. I don't know if I took the 10:50 right here. Okay, yeah, I took this around here. So VIX wasn't even lined up, fellas. If anything, it was holding above 26.30, and yeah, I just took a lotto position. And I told everybody, yeah, it was a lotto, but I thought it would just, I could grab a quick little pop there, but nope. Close this play for a loss, $113 loss. The play ended up working out. If I would have held, it went over 300%. Uh, it happens. I I was a little bit frustrated, and I was like, damn it, like, but I learned my lesson because it was just a little bit of it was just impatience. The right play I was supposed to take, the right entry was down here at 650 key zone. You guys see, we got this nice dip, perfect entry right here. And I told everybody I like calls around here, and yeah, we ended up lifting off. Some people even took it and got paid. So the idea paid for many of you. For me, I ran out of buying power, so I couldn't keep playing. But yeah, guys, I don't know if the VIX matched there. I think it did at 11:05. If we look real quick, yeah, perfect. You see, another retest, 27.24. Boom. Yep. See that this right here, when you wait perfectly at these levels, that's when you want to execute, fellas. All right. And you guys look at this again, 27.87. If you look at this real quick, this was at 3:05 p.m. Take a quick look right here. 3:05 p.m. Boom, pop. When VIX pops right back down, SPY goes up. Okay, that's your signal. Look at that, perfect. Like right here, if I had buying power, I would have grabbed calls here. I was just looking at it because I was just, I can just, I watched the chart for fun, fellas. With buying power, with no buying power, like I don't care. I'm watching and I'm studying this because that's what's gonna really give me lessons. That's what's really gonna give me intel is screen time. That's the game, fellas. But yeah, that's how I use SPY and VIX, fellas. If you guys have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below, or wherever this is going to be posted. Tag me in the chat. If you guys want to see more of these, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Please leave a like. That is going to increase the algo and let this method and this strategy reach out to more people who are trying to be profitable or just implement new ideas in the trading. That's a more simple and less complications and all for free. I do this for free. All right. I don't really care. I know God will reward me in the end. I just want to see other people win, and I'm just trying to be that person that I wish I had when I was starting off, instead of, giving my money away and having a uh, more expensive lessons by paying Discord and such and all these courses. So yeah, that's the game, fellas. See you guys in the next one. Peace.